Hi there, I'm Catherine, Arcadia Physio, and I'm just going to show you a quick exercise to strengthen your abductors. This is great for runners. They're often quite weak, and that comes to the fore and becomes noticeable when people start to up their distances, perhaps when they're training for a half marathon or something. So this is a really functional exercise, and it's quite hard work actually to really get these muscles working and doing their job. What their job is to abduct the leg, so bringing the leg out to the side. They attach to the bony bit here, the greater trochanter, and to the side of your hip bone, and they go along this line here. So when that contracts, it lifts the leg out to the side. What it's doing on this side is it's keeping my pelvis level. So if these muscles can't hold me in place and they lengthen, the opposite hip drops. So you often see this as a sign when people stand on one leg that their opposite hip drops, or you might actually see their pelvis looks level, but they do a big side lean to put all their weight on that side, so the hips don't have to take up the strain. So a simple way, but really effective way to train this muscle is by standing on one step and basically doing what's sort of called negative hip hitching. So not hitching up like this using my back or my waist, but letting the long leg drop down, keeping this leg nice and steady, and then just bringing my hips back up to the level, using this opposite side to contract and lift the pelvis back into a horizontal alignment. So this leg can start hurting in kind of the quads and hamstrings and so on as it tries to balance and as it tries to compensate for a weakness here. So a nice way to just take the edge off that a little bit is to just soften the knee a little bit, but not to the point where you're sort of dipping up and down. Everything's quite still and quite steady throughout, but just find your comfort zone around here. So find your hip bones, get yourself nice and level. Try not to look down like I've been doing. And feeling that your hips are level, then let that outside leg drop down. Imagine yourself as in between two panes of glass, so you're not kind of rotating, you're not bending forward, you're simply dropping that hip down to the side. Okay, and using your hands as a kind of benchmark to maintain that posture and alignment and ensuring you're not feeling any twisting or turning. So keeping it here, dropping that hip down, and a good prompt is to push down through your heel with this standing leg. Pushing down through the heel just brings me up to the neutral again. Dropping it down, pushing down through the heel. If you find yourself kind of hitching with your shoulders, off balancing, twisting a little bit, then just take a break, shake out your standing leg, and even do the other leg if you wanted to, just as a kind of a rest for the other side. Try and do it nice and steady, and you'll start to feel it working here. And that's really great training for running, because if you're standing on one leg half the time, which you are in running, then that is a really good way of keeping your pelvis stable. So that is the negative hip hitch. Really good for working your abductors.